Hello everyone, this is Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing team. We're bringing you a race today from Bristol Motor Speedway, Bristol, the last great Coliseum. Today we're broadcasting a Tyler Daniels Racing Legends League event. Tyler Daniels Racing Legends League races every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 Central, 7 Mountain, or 6 Pacific. Tyler Daniels Racing is an open, inclusive, charitable racing community that welcomes everyone regardless of background, ability, or history. Tyler Daniels Racing works closely with the Wyoming County Animal Shelter, the Iowa Food Bank, and to support American troops both at home and abroad. If you're interested in learning more, check out tylerdanielsracing.com or visit Tyler Daniels Racing on Facebook. Let's wander through the starting grid. Starting in the 14th position in car number 11, that's Andy Shaner, Andy from Brownstown, Indiana. Starting in the 13th spot in car number 00, that's the Moon Eye Speed Equipment Legends car of Aaron Johnson, Aaron from Bailey, Colorado. In the 12th starting spot in car number 77 in the Poppin' Chubby's Barbecue Legends car, that's Kevin Blackburn out of Georgia. In the 11th starting spot in car number 12, racing out of Canada, that's Greg Brazeau in the Kool-Aid Legends car. In the 10th starting spot, in car number 7, he'll show up on your screen with no number, but in your telemetry he'll be car number 7. That's Donald Fish Fisher. In the 9th starting spot, in car number 20, racing out of Porto, Portugal, in the GTZ Bulls In-Play Esports Legends car, that's Jose Godino. In the 8th starting spot, in car number 81, the FEMS Auto Racing Team Legends car of Derek Turner, Derek from Clay City, Indiana. In the 7th starting spot, in the Hot Wheels number 25, that is Tyler Daniels from Warsaw, New York. In the 6th spot, in car number 2, he races out of Hampstead, North Carolina in the MRN Legends car, that's James Matherly. Starting 5th in car 97, the Trackmaster Racing Legends car of Eric Sellers, Eric from the Mid-South region. In the 4th starting spot, in car number 3, racing from Michigan, it's Dustin Holsworth. Starting 3rd in car number 96, the team car to Eric Sellers, that's David Tremblay, also in the Trackmaster Racing Legends car, David from Toledo, Ohio. Starting 2nd in car number 91, that is Keith Fonseca from Virginia. And starting on the pole, in car number 35, that's the John Deere Legends car of Joseph Ralph. The pace car is in. Ralph leads him to the starting line, and the green flag is out. It looks like the 91 of Keith Fonseca is going to jump out to an early lead. Fonseca getting a great start as the green flew. Fonseca out front, followed by the 3 of Holsworth, then the 2 of Jim Matherly. The 81 of Derek Turner has moved up from 8th to 4th. It looks like Tyler Daniels is moving up as well. The 81 has moved up. The 35, your pole sitter, dropping back pretty quickly here as we've got a race for the lead. It's the 3 of Holsworth underneath the 91 of Keith Fonseca. Holsworth looks like he's going to take the lead, and that's what happened. Holsworth's going to take the lead as they head down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Holsworth with the lead, the 91 on the outside. That's Fonseca. Matherly in 3rd, followed by the 81 of Derek Turner. It's Fonseca, Holsworth, Matherly, Turner as we complete lap number 4 of 75 laps here at Bristol Motor Speedway. The 91 of Fonseca slides up. The 2 of Matherly gets underneath. It's side-by-side racing as they go into turn number 3. And it looks to me like that's going to be the 2 of Matherly that's going to take the position. Holsworth, Matherly, Fonseca, Turner, Tyler Daniels running 5th. Fish Fisher now in the 6th spot. Greg Brazeau in 7th. Tremblay in 8th. Godino 9th. And Eric Sellers in 10th. Up front, it is Dustin Holsworth holding the lead over the 2 of James Matherly. We're going to ride along with Holsworth in the 3 and get a feel for what it looks like here to race at Bristol Motor Speedway as Holsworth comes down the back straightaway into turn number 3. The camera right on the ground here to show you the banking at Bristol as Dustin Holsworth continues to lead as we finish lap number 6 of 75. We'll zoom out a little bit so we can get a better look at the action. Holsworth and Matherly starting to pull away ever so slightly from the 91 of Fonseca. The 81 of Derek Turner closing on Fonseca. Tyler Daniels continues to ride along in the 5th spot. We're 8 laps in to a 75-lap feature race. Now here at Bristol, a half-mile track, Legends cars 3/4 size. I'm guessing that fuel mileage strategy may come into play, as the base set that was provided by the TDR League is almost certainly going to require at least one pit stop. So pit strategy should come into play at Bristol. Out front, it's the 3 of Holsworth, the 2 of Matherly, pulling away from the 91 of Fonseca and the 81 of Turner. Turner looking to the inside of Fonseca now. And it looks like he's going to try to make the pass. We've really got 6 cars racing pretty tightly here. The 81 of Turner, Fonseca, Tyler Daniels in the 25, Brazeau in the 12, and the 96 of Tremblay, followed by the 7 of Fisher. But out front, it's still the 3 of Dustin Holsworth. Holsworth leading by a fairly large margin as we've completed 10 of 75 laps. We're on lap number 11. It's the 3 of Holsworth and the 2 of Matherly running out front, a significant distance back to the 3rd place car. That's the 81 of Derek Turner. Down the front straightaway, it's still the 3 of Holsworth. Holsworth took the lead on lap 2 and has not relinquished it as he holds off car number 2 of James Matherly. Other movers and shakers, David Tremblay running 7th, Fisher running 8th. Looks like the caution's come out. I'm not sure what's happened here to bring out the caution, but we are under caution at Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's see if we can't figure out what brought out the caution. What have we got here? It looks like the 96 of Tremblay slips up the racetrack a little bit. That pushes the 12 of Brazeau into the wall. Brazeau then slides down into the infield, smashes that inside wall pretty hard. That looks like what happened, a little contact between the 96 of Tremblay and the 12 of Greg Brazeau. With pit strategy coming into play here, one of the questions we're going to have is, will anyone pit? Who's going to maybe make their way into the pits? Let's see if we can't get to the pit cam and find out. Right now, we don't see anyone working their way into the pits. Holsworth continues to lead. You know, David Tremblay is the current point leader in the Tyler Daniels Racing Legends League. That little incident potentially could have been disastrous for Tremblay, but he managed to escape any serious issue. It looks at this time like no one will take advantage of the opportunity to pit. Greg Brazeau will go in. He was the one involved in that accident. Holsworth maybe makes a dodge. Holsworth makes a fake to the pits, but it doesn't look like anyone is going to go along with him. And nobody followed Holsworth into the pits. So with 15 laps in the books, all drivers choosing to stay out on the racetrack. You know, the Tyler Daniels Racing organization works diligently to make everyone welcome. You know, they have a absolutely zero tolerance policy on bullying or harassing other drivers. It's a welcoming, inclusive place. They also encourage everyone to take responsibility. We know that you're going to be racing hard, and sometimes you're going to make a mistake. And it's okay. It's okay to make an error. The big question is, how do you respond? Do you take responsibility for that error and move on? We're on lap number 15 of 75, getting ready to complete lap number 16 of 75. Dustin Holsworth continues to lead. He's followed by the 2 of Matherly, the 81 of Turner, then the 25 of Tyler Daniels. We've got the 1 to go sign, so the pace car leads them through turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. The driver's now moving into double file for this restart. It's going to be Dustin Holsworth that's going to lead them to the start-finish line, with James Matherly to his outside, then Turner, Daniels, Fonseca, Fish, Tremblay, Johnson. Aaron Johnson's moved up from 13th to 8th, followed by Eric Sellers, and then the 35 car of Joseph Ralph, your pole sitter, in 10th. The pace car is in. Holsworth leads them out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. The green flag is out. Dustin Holsworth gets a good jump there. 4 wide further back. 4 wide back in the pack. Wow, 4 wide going into turn number 1. How problematic is that? Still 3 wide coming out. Aaron Johnson, the meat in that sandwich between Jose Godino and Joseph Ralph. Looks like they've kind of stretched back out to 2 wide now. Let's go back up with the leader. That's Dustin Holsworth. Holsworth holding off the 2 of James Matherly. Behind Matherly, the 81 of Derek Turner. It looks like Matherly trying to make a move on Holsworth. Doesn't have enough room to get it done. Holsworth leads the field as they come out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway to begin lap number 19 in this 75-lap feature. Dustin Holsworth continues to lead. A little internet lag there causing the field to blink in and out, but it's Holsworth, Matherly, Turner, Fonseca. Eric Sellers now has charged up into the 5th spot. Eric Sellers in that 97 car, the Trackmaster Racing Legends car. Up front, it's still the 3 of Holsworth, followed by the 2 of Matherly, then the 81 of Derek Turner. Turner closing slightly on the 2 of Matherly. Behind them, the 91 of Fonseca, then the 97 of Sellers. Tyler Daniels 6th, Trumbley 7th, Godino 8th, Johnson 9th, and Kevin Blackburn rounding out the top 10. Greg Brazeau is in 11th, Joseph Ralph 12th, Andy Shaner 13th, and Donald Fisher, running in the 14th spot. Up front, it's the 3 of Dustin Holsworth. Holsworth beginning to pull away from the 2 of Matherly. The 2 of Matherly, the 81 of Turner, Fonseca, and Eric Sellers racing in a pack here. Sellers looking to that, and the caution's out again. We've got a caution here. Wonder what's brought out that caution. We may have to see what we can find here as Holsworth leads the field around here on lap number 22. Let's check the replay and see if we can find out what brought out this caution on lap number 22. We're riding along. It's the Brazeau gets sideways. Oh, wow. The 35 of Joseph Ralph takes a spectacular ride, barrel rolling end over end, then side to side before coming to rest against the inside wall. Now, the nice thing about iRacing, and one of the things that I appreciate about how Tyler Daniels Racing does their league races, is everybody gets a quick repair. You get one. You have an accident like that, doesn't take you completely out of the race. It's early. We're only 23 laps in. Joseph Ralph's going to be able to go into the infield, go into the pits, get a quick repair, and come back out and probably stay on the lead lap. Let's go to the pit cam and see if anyone is going to take advantage of the potential opportunity to pit here. Right now, we don't see anyone coming in. Pit road is not open. That's Fisher coming around. Fish has come in. He also spun under that caution. Dustin Holsworth continues to lead. We're on lap 24 now of 75, approaching the 1/3 point. We're going to find out here as we watch the entrance to pit road if any of our drivers are going to take advantage of this opportunity to get fresh tires and top off on fuel. The field's coming by. We don't see anyone heading into the pits at this point in time. It looks like everyone, at least the leaders, are going to elect to stay out. Joseph Ralph, the last car on the lead lap, he will come in for repairs. Fisher 1 lap down. Greg Brazeau, who had the earlier accident, continues to run in 12th. But back out front, still Dustin Holsworth in the lead. We're going to ride along with Holsworth. Dustin Holsworth racing with us out of Michigan. You know, Michigan, a hotbed for racing. A lot of really great racers up in Michigan. Also in Indiana. Andy Shaner coming out of Indiana. So does Derek Turner out of Clay City. Keith Fonseca out of Georgia. So drivers racing with Tyler Daniels here represent several different states, about 2/3 of the country, and then Jose Godino racing with us out of Portugal. We're really glad to have all these drivers representing various regions in the country. Tyler Daniels in the Hot Wheels car runs the number 25 in honor of his grandfather, who was an accomplished racer in his own right. Daniels also running go-karts and is a champion at his local go-kart track. Other racers in the field with some experience. Aaron Johnson was the crew chief for the Johnson Racing Team from 1991 through 1997. During that time, the Johnson iRacing team won a number of championships as well. Our Johnson Racing team won a number of championships as well and brought, at some points, up to 5 cars to the track. We've got the 1-to-go sign, the pace car leading them down the back straightaway. The drivers now have moved into a double file restart with the 3 of Dustin Holsworth leading them through turn 3 now. Getting ready for this restart. It's Holsworth, Matherly, the 81 of Fonseca. Sorry, the 81 of Turner, the 91 of Fonseca running 1, 2, 3, 4. The green flag is out. Dustin Holsworth leads them to the start-finish line. Eric Sellers with a fantastic restart. Sellers closing in on the 81 of Turner. It's Trumbley going through the center 3 wide. Aaron Johnson following Trumbley through. We've got cars 3 wide, 2 deep. As they run on lap number 27, it's still Holsworth up front, followed by the 81 of Turner and the 2 of Matherly. The 96 of Trumbley's moved up into 4th. Aaron Johnson has moved into the 5th spot. Behind Johnson's the 97 of Sellers. Out front, It is still Dustin Holsworth. Holsworth with a 3 or 4 car length lead. A little bit of internet lag there as Holsworth's car disappears for just a moment. But he continues to hold the lead over the 2 of Jim Matherly. Behind Matherly, the 81 of Derek Turner, then the 96 of Trumbley. Johnson working on Trumbley's outside. Aaron Johnson seems to get a fantastic run out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Johnson side by side with the 96 of Trumbley. Johnson now out of turn number 4 on the high side. They bumped just a little bit. Johnson came down on Trumbley. No harm, no foul. Johnson just faster than anyone else on the racetrack right now. Aaron Johnson getting a great run out of turns 2 and 4, using that high line to his advantage. But up front, it's still the 3 of Dustin Holsworth. And another caution here. This was for a spin, it looks like, on the front straightaway. We don't have any replay of it, but there is another caution here. And I think at 31 laps into a 75-lap race, we may begin to see just a few people try to take advantage of this opportunity to get a fresh set of tires and to top off that fuel tank. You know, it's the fuel, it's refueling that's going to be the limiting factor here. Legends cars don't have the quick connect fuel systems that you see in ARCA or in Infinity or in the Cup cars. So Legends cars, fueling is the old-fashioned way. You got to pop that deck lid, stick a funnel in it, and upend a 5-gallon canister. So that's really going to be the limiting factor on time for the folks that want to jump into the pits. Let's hop to the pit cam and see if anybody's going to try to come into the pits. We do. We've got our first person in the pits. That's the 81 of Derek Turner. Turner, the only one of the leaders electing to take fuel and tires at this point. That's going to cost Turner a number of positions. He will drop likely from 3rd to somewhere around 13th by the time it's all said and done. We can watch Turner as he makes the long ride to pit at Bristol. At Bristol, one of the things that the iRacing is set up for in the Legends cars is that you enter the pits as you come out of turn number 2, and you have to make your way all the way around the racetrack to your pit that's on the front straightaway. Dustin Holsworth continues to lead, Matherly second, Johnson third. Right now, in the Tyler Daniel Racing Advanced Legends Cup League, David Trumbley in the 96 is your points leader, followed by Tyler Daniels in the 25, and in third, Eric Sellers in the 97. Those are your top 3. You know, in practice today, Eric Sellers set the fast lap time. It's no surprise that Sellers is up in the front. Aaron Johnson was the third fastest in practice this morning. And in between them and second fastest was Dustin Holsworth. It was Joseph Ralph that was on the pole. Ralph's had a little bit of bad luck here. He's dropped back to 11, but he stays on the lead lap. Right now, your top 3 are Holsworth, Matherly, Johnson, followed by Trumbley in the 96 and Eric Sellers in the 97. Behind them, the 91 of Keith Fonseca, then Tyler Daniels in that Hot Wheels car, Jose Godino in 8th, Kevin Blackburn 9th, and Joseph Ralph now rounds out the top 10. After making the pit stop, Derek Turner has dropped back to the 12th position, so the decision to pit and to have none of the leaders come with him may very well come back to haunt Derek Turner. Pit strategy coming into play here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We are completing lap number 34 under caution. It looks like the 1 to go signal's been given. The cars and drivers now beginning to double up for a double file restart. Dustin Holsworth leads the field into turn number 2. It's going to be Holsworth, Matherly, Johnson, Trumbley, Sellers, Fonseca. In the 7th spot, Tyler Daniels on the inside line, Godino on the outside, Blackburn running 9th, Joseph Ralph running 10th. The pace car leads the field into turn number 3. We should see the pace car head into the pits at any moment. The pace car heads in. The green flag is out, and Dustin Holsworth hammers the throttle as they come to the start-finish line. Aaron Johnson with a great start closes in on the 2 of Matherly. Johnson closes right onto the back bumper of the 3 of Godino, of Holsworth. Holsworth up front. Johnson gets by Matherly. It's going to be Holsworth, Johnson, Matherly, then the team cars of Trumbley and Eric Sellers as Fonseca has been shuffled back into the 6th spot. Aaron Johnson holds on to that second position. Matherly in third. Out front, it's still the 3 of Holsworth. Let's zoom in just a little bit and take a closer look at the field as Holsworth leads the field through turn number 1 into 2 onto the back straightaway. Onto the front straightaway. Holsworth with the lead, followed by Johnson, then the 2 of Matherly, the 96 of Trumbley, and the 97. Trumbley gets into the back of Matherly. No harm, no foul. Matherly gets a little sideways. Trumbley backs off and lets him collect the car. Up front, it's still the 3 of Holsworth and the 00 of Johnson. Johnson down the front straightaway. There's a spin back behind as the 91 of Fonseca goes around. There'll be no caution for that. We're through the halfway point of the race. It's still Dustin Holsworth with the lead. Johnson starts to take a look on that high side that worked earlier for him when he made his way around the 96 car. Johnson with a big run out of turn number 4. Aaron Johnson using the banking here at Bristol to get a run in the Legends cars. Johnson up high now. The 3 of Holsworth also mimicking that move. Johnson really closing in on the 3 of Holsworth, but no dice as Dustin Holsworth continues to lead. In the 3rd spot, the 2 of Matherly, then the team cars of Trumbley and Sellers running 4 and 5. The 35 of Joseph Ralph has worked his way up into the 6th spot. Ralph on fresher tires also set the pole time here, so we know Joseph Ralph has a quick car, a beneficiary of the quick repair that Tyler Daniels Racing allows to kind of give drivers an opportunity to come back from one mistake, especially when it's not your fault. Johnson working that high side again. No dice as he tries to find his way around the 3 of Holsworth. It's Holsworth, Johnson, Matherly, Trumbley. Joseph Ralph is dispatched with Eric Sellers. Ralph now works underneath Trumbley. Joseph Ralph has run from the back to the front. He's in 4th spot with some fresher tires compared to these leaders. Joseph Ralph sticks the car down onto the bottom line, holds it tight, looks underneath the 2 of Matherly. Joseph Ralph trying to make a move on Matherly. Ralph very quick right now on new tires. He's managed to get a position under Matherly. Looks like he'll make the pass as they go into turn number 1. It's going to be Joseph Ralph moving up into the 3rd spot, chasing down those leaders as Holsworth continues to lead, followed by the 00 of Johnson, but it's Joseph Ralph on the move. They come out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. Ralph closing on Aaron Johnson. He's pulled that gap down to within a car length. Ralph looks to gain on Johnson here down the back straightaway. Ralph starting to look to the inside. Aaron Johnson just moves up and lets Joseph Ralph go. Gives Ralph plenty of room. Turns to look underside. It's Joseph Ralph in 2nd. He has charged from the back to the front at Bristol Motor Speedway. There are 30 laps left in this 75-lap feature race. And Joseph Ralph is a man on a mission as Holsworth, Ralph, and Johnson have pulled away from the rest of the field. The gap from the 3rd place car of Johnson to the 4th place car of James Matherly, about 15. Wow, that looks like there was a crash in the back. Looked like that had to do with James Matherly. I was just saying there's about a 15 car length gap between the 00 of Johnson and the 2 of Matherly. That looked like a fairly spectacular accident. Let's grab a replay and see if we can figure out what happened to send the 2 car of Matherly around. It looks like that's the 96 of Trumbley. Trumbley gets up into the 2 of Ralph. That takes out the 11. Looks like the 77 of Fonseca was involved. Possibly. Looks like both the 96 and 97 were involved, as well as Tyler Daniels and the 81 of Turner. Let's look at it again. There's the 96 of Trumbley. Sellers gets into him. Turner smacks smacks Sellers. We saw the 77 of Blackburn hard into the inside wall. Looks like Tyler Daniels tagged the inside wall trying to miss that, but may have escaped with minimal damage. There are 28 laps to go this time by. Will the leaders pit? That's a question for the ages. Let's jump into this pit road cam and see if the leaders are going to pit. Right now we know that Joseph Ralph is on newer tires. We know that the 81 of Turner had pitted earlier. It looks like all the leaders coming down. The 3's in, 35's in, 00 Johnson is in. The 20 of Godino is in. The team cars of Sellers and Trumbley also in, as well as Donald Fish Fisher. Looks to me like most of our leaders have come into pit this time by. With 27 to go, pit strategy coming into play. There's the 3 of Holsworth, the 00 of Johnson into his pit. It's going to be interesting to see who gets out of the pits the quickest here, as we have really 7, 8 of the lead lap cars all in the pits. Tyler Daniels electing to stay out. Tyler Daniels will come out as your leader. So the race off of the pit road here is going to be for 2nd place. Whoever comes out of the pits first will be in second as Tyler Daniels has elected to stay out and hold on to the lead. Right here at pit road, looks like Aaron Johnson's going to take the lead out of the pits, followed by the 35 of Joseph Ralph, then the 97 of Sellers, then the 20 of Godino, and the 3 of Dustin Holsworth. That's going to shake the field up just a little bit. Tyler Daniels will continue to be the leader, but it looks to me like it'll be the 00 of Aaron Johnson that's going to end up second, and starting to Tyler Daniels outside. Let's see as the field comes around after the pits. The field now bunching up behind the pace car. The lapped cars will go to the tail end of the field, so all the cars on the lead lap will start here together. We can see Aaron Johnson coming into the field of view now. Johnson in that bright yellow and black Moon Eyes Legends car. Johnson in second, Joseph Ralph third, Eric Sellers fourth, Jose Godino fifth, Dustin Holsworth sixth, then Trumbley, Shaner, Fonseca, and Derek Turner rounding out the top 10. Tyler Daniels playing some interesting pit strategy there. Tyler pitted earlier in the race, so he is on older tires than the leaders, but he should have enough fuel to make the finish. Tyler Daniels with the lead, followed by the 00 of Aaron Johnson, his outside. We've got the 1 to go this time, so the pace car will lead them out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Tyler Daniels with the lead, Aaron Johnson second, the 35 of Joseph Ralph in third, the 97 of Sellers fourth. Sellers, your fast time in practice. Ralph, your pole sitter. Aaron Johnson, third fast in practice. Had a terrible qualifying run, ended up 13th, but he's taken that 00 car to the front row here. Tyler Daniels leads them now to the green flag. The green flag is out. Tyler Daniels on the throttle. It's Tyler Daniels with the lead, followed by Aaron Johnson, then Ralph, Sellers, and Godino. Tyler Daniels leads them into turn number 1. Johnson works a slightly higher line, then turns down coming out of turn number 2, gets a big run out of turn 2 down the back straightaway, closing on Tyler Daniels. Joseph Ralph closing on both drivers. Johnson again on the high side, then lets the car drift down low, gets a big run again out of turn number 4 onto the front straight. Johnson pulls to the outside of Tyler Daniels as they go into turn number 1. It's Daniels, Johnson, Ralph, Sellers, Godino. Johnson with a huge run out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway, side by side as they go into turn number 3. Johnson on the outside, Tyler Daniels on the inside. And it's going to be Johnson at the flag. Aaron Johnson takes the lead over Tyler Daniels as Joseph Ralph gives Daniels a little bit of a nudge. Ralph a little impatient, and he spins Tyler Daniels. Daniels goes around sideways, collects the 11 of Andy Shaner, and they both collect the, looks like Fisher. Man, what a terrible accident that was, as Donald Fisher took quite the ride. The yellow flag is out. We'll go back up front with the 0 of Aaron Johnson. Aaron Johnson, the beneficiary there of a little bit of contact between Tyler Daniel and the 35 of Joseph Ralph. There are 20 laps to go in this 75-lap feature event. And one of the things we always said when we were racing on the short tracks is that cautions breed cautions. Once cars get lined out and everybody gets in a groove and they get in a rhythm, you're less likely to have an accident. Those first couple of laps after the green flag flies, everybody's racing close. Nerves are high, adrenaline's high, and guys tend to overdrive. In this case, no harm, no foul. It looked to me like Joseph Ralph just nudged Tyler Daniel a little bit, and these cars already on a knife edge. Tyler went around. Eric Sellers currently third in the Tyler Daniels Legends League points. Aaron Johnson in 8th place. Johnson also top 10. Jose Godino, I believe, is 5th in Legends points right now, with Tyler Daniels and David Trumbley. So the team cars of Trumbley and Sellers, 1st and 3rd in the Tyler Daniels Legends League. If you're interested in other kinds of leagues, Tyler Daniels Racing hosts leagues focused on street stocks, cup cars, ARCA cars also on Sunday mornings, a Coffee and Cars event where each week you race a different kind of car on a different track. So if you're interested in this kind of racing, this type of environment, look up Tyler Daniels on Facebook, request to join the Tyler Daniels Racing League. You will have to follow Tyler Daniels Racing rules. That includes being open and charitable, and has a strict anti-harassment, anti-bullying policy. There are going to be 18 laps to go this time by. Lap number 57 of 75. Now 17 laps to go. Lap number 58 is just beginning. We see the 11 of Shaner running out of the pits now, trying to catch back up to the tail end of the field. With 17 laps to go, Aaron Johnson leads, followed by the 97 of Eric Sellers, then the 35 of Joseph Ralph. Keith Fonseca is fourth. Jose Godino, fifth. Derek Turner, sixth. Dustin Holsworth, seventh. David Trumbley, eighth. And Andy Shaner, ninth. Those 9 cars are on the lead lap. 1 lap down, the 10 of James Matherly and the 25 of Tyler Daniels. In the pits right now, the 77 of Blackburn, the 7 of Donald Fisher, and the 12 of Greg Brazeau has retired from the race. There are 16 laps to go. Aaron Johnson leads the field around under caution. It looks to me like we've got the 1 to go sign. Field beginning to double up. Eric Sellers will move to the outside here on the back straightaway. It's going to be Aaron Johnson leading them to the stripe. Joseph Ralph in the 35 car will be third. Fonseca now fourth. Godino fifth. Turner sixth. Holsworth seventh. Shaner eighth. David Trumbley in ninth, trying to catch the tail end of the field before the green flag comes out. The pace car is in. Aaron Johnson leads them to the start-finish line. The green flag's out. Johnson on the throttle hard. He leads them to the to the start-finish line and takes the green. Johnson through 2 onto the back straightaway, pulling away slightly from the 97 of Eric Sellers, the 35 of Joseph Ralph in third, and the 91 of Fonseca fourth. Keith running a good race here today. Had a little spin earlier, but has managed to rebound from that spin and make his way back into the top 5. Out front, it's Johnson, followed by Sellers. Then a little gap back to Ralph, Fonseca, and Godino. Johnson and Sellers pulling away from the rest of the field. Looks like the 35 of Joseph Ralph may have developed a little bit of a push, and that's slowing his car down. Johnson leads them out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Eric Sellers looking to the high side, trying to use the little bit of run you get off the banking to see if he can't make his way around the 00 of Johnson. Sellers pulling right up on Johnson's back bumper as Johnson and Sellers pull away from the rest of the field. 12 to go as Aaron Johnson leads the field into turn number 3. They go through 3 now into the middle of 3 and 4, out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. Aaron Johnson leads them to the start-finish line. There's 11 to go this time by. Aaron Johnson and Eric Sellers continuing to put distance between themselves and the 35 of Joseph Ralph. Sellers looking to the high side, maybe trying to get a little run off the banking at Bristol Motor Speedway. Bristol, very high banked, over 30 degrees banking in these turns. That's a lot of run for a small car like these Legends. Sellers all over Johnson, waiting for Johnson to make a mistake. It's Johnson 1, Sellers 2, Ralph 3, Fonseca 4, Godino 5. Those 5 cars now pulling away from the rest of the field. The 2 of Matherly in 6th, the 81 of Turner in 6th, but a fair distance behind these top 5 cars out front. It's still the 00 of Johnson, followed by the 97 of Sellers. Johnson 1, Sellers 2, into turn number 3, through the middle of 3 and 4 now, out onto the front straightaway. Sellers down the banking, trying to get a little bit of a run out of turn number 4. They come to the stripe. There's 8 to go this time by. It's still Aaron Johnson as they close in on the lapped cars of Andy Shaner and David Trumbley. Johnson 1, Sellers 2. Trumbley and Shaner stay up high as the leaders blast by on the bottom side. 7 to go this time by. Aaron Johnson trying to hold off the 97 of Sellers. Sellers with a run into turn number 1. Now out of 2 onto the back straightaway. Eric Sellers with a little bit of a run here. He's closing, looking on the high side of Aaron Johnson. Johnson keeping that 00 car on the blue line down on the infield. Not on the apron, trying to keep 2 wheels as close to that apron as he can without getting off the paved surface. Sellers has dropped back a little bit. Looks like he's trying to find a way to make another run at Aaron Johnson. Johnson out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. Sellers now half a car length behind. Looks to the outside. It's still Johnson with the lead. There are 5 to go this time by. Aaron Johnson with the lead. Eric Sellers in second. It's a fair amount of distance back to the 35 of Joseph Ralph. And inside of Ralph, it's the 91 of Fonseca. Fonseca gets a nose under Ralph, so Keith Fonseca is going to move up into third here. Jose Godino trying to go along with him. There's 3 wide. Nope, now 2 wide. Racing for third. Up front, it's still Aaron Johnson in the 00, followed by the 97 of Eric Sellers, Keith Fonseca, and the 35 of Joseph Ralph running side by side for third. Johnson leads, 3 to go. 2-car length advantage over the 97 of Eric Sellers. Sellers closes as they come out of turn number 2. Looks like Sellers may have picked up just a slight push coming out of the corner. That allowed Johnson to move about a car length ahead. Sellers closing back in 3 and 4. They come down the front straightaway past the start-finish line. 2 to go this time by Aaron Johnson with a 2-car length lead over the 97 of Eric Sellers. It's Johnson, Sellers, Fonseca, Ralph, and Godino. Up front, Aaron Johnson continues to lead. He's got a car length advantage. Now a half a car length advantage over the 97 of Sellers. Sellers out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. They take the white flag this time by. 1 to go. Can Aaron Johnson hold off the charging 97 of Eric Sellers? Sellers touches the apron, slides up coming out of turn number 2. That gives Johnson about a 2.5 car length advantage. Johnson comes out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. It's Aaron Johnson going to take the win here at Bristol Motor Speedway, followed by the 97 of Eric Sellers, then the 91 of Fonseca. Joseph Ralph in the 35 car will come home 4th. Jose Godino will wind up 5th. Behind Godino, the 81 car of Derek Turner is 6th. Dustin Holsworth, who led so many laps early, finishes up 7th. Jim Matherly in the 2 comes home 8th. Kevin Blackburn in the car 77 is 9th, and Tyler Daniels rounds out the top 10. Behind Daniels, your point leader David Trumbley comes home 11th. Andy Shaner comes home 12th. Fisher comes home 13th, and Greg Brezzo finishes 14th. But up front, the winner, Aaron Johnson, and that's the 81 of Eric Sellers, giving Johnson a little howdy-doody congratulatory bump. You know, the great thing about racing and iRacing and racing with Tyler Daniels Racing is, first off, if you tear up a car, you just press a button and it's fixed. And second off, we're really happy when we see guys have a good race and win. Today happened to be a day for Aaron Johnson, but it could have been any one of them. That'll do it from Bristol Motor Speedway. For the Johnson iRacing team on the Johnson iRacing Network, this is Aaron Johnson saying, go fast, turn left, have fun.